Self-Directed IRA for private placements. Hey everyone, Adam Bergman here, tax attorney and founder of IRA Financial. In today's video, I'm going to explain how to use a self-directed IRA for a private placement investment and what you need to know. So let's start at the top. What's a private placement investment? Well, it's essentially an investment into a private enterprise, whether it's a company or an investment fund, like a hedge fund, private equity fund, or a private business, non-publicly traded. That is the general sense of what a private placement is. And with an IRA, there are very popular investment categories. So the tax code doesn't say what you can do with an IRA, only what you cannot do. Just three things you can't do with an IRA. That's it. Life insurance, collectible, and then any transaction that personally, directly or indirectly, benefits you as the IRA owner or a disqualified person, which is a lineal descendant, parent, child, spouse, daughter-in-law, son-in-law, or any entities 50% or more controlled by such person. So as long as you don't own more than 50% of that private placement deal, like the company or the fund, your IRA can invest in it. So here are a couple things to remember or consider if you are looking to use a self-directed IRA for a private placement deal. Number one, you generally need to be an accredited investor. Accredited investor is someone that has a net worth of at least $1 million, excluding a primary resident, married, filed jointly, make at least $300,000 in annual salary. The SEC thinks that you are more sophisticated if you satisfy those requirements, which is, I think, rubbish. Like, you're telling me if you went to Harvard Business School and you only make 200 grand this year because you're first year out of business school, you're not sophisticated enough to invest in a private business versus someone who's a car salesman that just made 300,000 bucks is. It's arbitrary. I don't agree with it, but those rules are the rules. So the most common type of private placements are either Reg A, Reg Ds, or Reg CFs. Reg A and Reg Ds generally are marketed to accredited investors. So some will allow for a small percentage of non-accredited investors to invest, but for the most part, the reason these private placements are set up as accredited investor investments is there's less regulation and less registration requirements with the SEC. Crowdfunding, Crowd CF, allows you to raise up to $5 million, and you can open it up to non-accredited investors. But those are essentially the main rules you need to know when it comes to a private placement. The other thing you should consider with an IRA is UBIT, unrelated business income tax. It's an ugly four-letter word, and not a lot of investors understand it, but this is what you need to know. If your IRA is going to invest in a deal that involves leverage or an investment in an active trader business, and that entity is a pass-through entity, it's not a corp, right? It's an LLC, a partnership, then the net income of above $1,000 that is allocated to the IRA could be subject to this UBIT tax, which can travel as high as 37% at a very low income threshold, approximately $15,000. So something to keep in mind, and that's why it's so important to work with a company like IRA Financial that will help you design the structure, will give you the information and the guidance you need on structuring a deal, especially in the private placement world. There's UBIT concerns, there's accredited investor concerns, there's other potential concerns, and also there's workarounds. So we have lots of experience, been doing this 14 years. We have over 25,000 clients, over almost $3.5 billion in assets. I personally think no one does this better than us. We don't just set up the account. We're gonna help you design it, we're gonna help you structure it, and we're gonna make it as most tax efficient as possible. And if there's ways to minimize tax, whether through UBIT or other ways, we're going to find you solutions through, let's say, a blocker corp or other types of mechanisms that we employ with our clients. So now you should know everything you need to know about investing with an IRA in a private placement deal. They are a very popular investment, especially Reg A's and Reg D's. Just remember the accredited investor rules, remember potential UBIT, and obviously structure and plan design are key. It is so important to get this stuff in the beginning versus the end. I can't help you. Once you've done the deal, it's very hard for me to unwind it and restructure it. So you need to work with us at the outset, call us, contact us before you do your deals so we can help you structure it to maximize your tax benefits. That's it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Hope you really enjoyed the video. There's lots of other videos on this channel, so if you haven't subscribed, please do. If you have comments or questions, leave them. And if you have suggestions for future videos, please leave them as well. Otherwise, I appreciate it, hanging out, and look forward to seeing everyone on my next video. Take care.